Hey there, adventure gamers. Welcome back to Dungeon Crawlers Anonymous. My name is Ron, and today we're going to be doing another playthrough of Ashes Reborn with the PvE expansion. If you caught my last video, we did a standard difficulty match against the Shadow Corpse of Viros, and that was with Brennan Blackcloud, which is that's the Phoenixborn that comes with the PvE expansion specifically, or at least in my mind it is, using that deck. And today we're going to be using one of the Phoenixborn from the starter set. So this is Meoni Viper. And her standard sort of thing that she does is she summons this big silver snake and then tries to get that snake as big and dangerous as possible. So this is going to be our primary conjuration. And what's really interesting about this snake is after a unit opponent controls is destroyed, you put a status token on it, and every status token adds 1 to the attack value of the snake. So the idea is here that you want to get as many of these status tokens as you can on this snake. There's lots of ways to do that, and then he just becomes a big old baddie that your opponent has to deal with. But we're not the only ones that have changed our tune. So the Corpse of Viros I have swapped in for the heroic version. So the main difference here is he has 35 health instead of 30 health if you watched the last video. And he has 5 threat, so he has 5 cards in his 5 aspects that he's going to summon instead of just 4. I will say I have not played on this difficulty setting at all yet, so I have no idea how this game is going to go. I am excited to see it and see how much more difficult it is. I imagine it's going to be quite a bit harder. There's 5 more hit points to deal, and I have to deal with another card basically every round, either dealing with ultimates or just dealing with whatever the card actually does. We are playing the shadow aspect again, so same aspect as the last video, and yeah, it's just one that I'm the most familiar with at the moment, so I wanted to keep going with that. And other than that, nothing else has really changed. So new deck, and he's upgraded a little bit, but yeah, I think we're just going to jump right in and get started. So let's take a quick look at the first 5 for Maeoni. So we've got Summon Silver Snake, that's the conjuration that gets our snake out. We have Summon Gilder, which is these little mouse dudes. They are guards, and when they die, they put a status token on a unit, so they're kind of there to help me get my snake up and running. We've got Empower, which is a ready spell, so it stays out, and I can use it once per round. Has a somewhat of a cost, but it lets you put a status token on target you control. And you'll notice here it's got Focus 1. We didn't talk about Focus in our last video, but basically Focus comes into play if you have multiple copies of the same spell in your ready area. So in this case, I've got 0, or I've got Focus 0, but if I had a second card, it would be Focus 1, which would allow you to actually remove status tokens from a creature or from a unit to deal damage to another unit equal to the number of status tokens you removed. So it lets you add tokens and also move them around, or use them to deal a little extra damage. We've got Call Upon the Realms, which is just a very powerful card. Lets us change 3 dice to any face we want in terms of our power die. And then Open Memories, also very good. Literally just go into your draw pile, get a card, and put it in your hand. So she's even more capable of kind of controlling her board state, or at least her hand state, than even the last Phoenixborn that we played. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right in. Let's get started. So it is our turn. The Corpse of Viros is facing us down. He's got his 5 aspects. This is based on the starting line. So only in the first round we follow the starting line for the Chimera, which shows that we do a 1 blood, then a 2 blood, then 2 1 bloods, then a 2 blood. After that, we're just going to deal 5, but that's kind of how he starts out. Okay. It is our turn. We get to go first, and I'm just going to pop down Summon Gilder as our main action. The only side action we have available to us is Maeoni's, which is Command Strike. It is fairly expensive. It's a side action. It costs 2 mana or 2 power or whatever. Choose an unexhausted unit you control. Deal damage to target unit equal to that chosen unit's attack value. So basically, get your snake in there without even exhausting it to just do his damage. So that's kind of the idea anyway. Got our Gilder out, and I think we're done. So the Corpse is going to go. He's going to roll. He got a power and a 9. And in the behavior, says that a 9 is we must lower 2 basic. Oh, hey, you know what we need is dice. We never rolled dice. we gotta roll these so we can lower some of them. Okay. I need a snake and a frog. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lower one and uh, it's fine. Two. We'll do that. Okay. And then he's gonna reveal, and he reveals Glare. Glare's effect is I cannot play action or reaction spells, which is not great actually, because I need to play some action and spells this turn or this round. So I will definitely be wanting to take care of Glare. But next, let's just go ahead and keep building up our sideboard. I think for now we'll get Summon Silver Snake out there. Oh, and Summon Gilder. Gosh, I'm really sorry. Summon Gilder, I need to spend a heart to play, so we'll do that as well. Back to the Chimera. Okay, so basic and an 11. Raise one basic rage die 1 level, so that means he takes a basic face and turns it into a power face, and then he reveals another card, and we've got Constrict. First thing we have to do when Constrict comes out is put a status token, oh sorry, a exhaustion token on one of our cards. What are we going to exhaust? Probably her. I don't think I'm going to be having her do her ability this round, hopefully. Okay, back to us. Well, I can't. This is gonna be tough because I want to summon the snake, but I need to raise my dice to do that. And to raise my dice, I need to play Call Upon the Realms. Call Upon the Realms is an action spell, which I can't play because of Glare, so I'm already feeling a little locked down thanks to that. And now I can't attack Glare because we have Constrict in play. So this might not go all that well. So I'm going to play Empower as a side action. It costs me 1 basic mana, or energy, or whatever. Sorry. It's hard not to say mana. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate Summon Gilder. So we'll put an exhaustion token on it, as well as spend a leaf. And that puts a Gilder out on the field for us. So Gilder's little mouse dude comes into play. He's got 2 life, and he can be used to guard. Alright, it's back to the Chimera. He rolled a 2 and a basic. A 2 is just reveal. So we're going to see what we got next. Regenerate, our old friend. So Regenerate, when we kill it, it has a chance to come back. Basically, it's 50-50 chance to come back. But it does deal its blood damage whenever we kill it regardless, which is nice. At least the way that I understand the rules. Okay. He's showing me some creatures. He's getting ready to do some things. So now we're kind of stuck. Because I can't play any of my I can't play either of these action spells. So I can't do that, but I can meditate. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. So let's meditate. So side action, we're going to meditate. We're going to discard Call Upon the Realms, because we're basically using it for its effect, and Summon Silver Snake, which is too bad. We really want to get those, because they buff up our summon if we have multiple copies. But we're going to do 2 cards, and that lets us get a snake and a frog, and that was our side action to meditate. And then our main action, we're going to summon a silver snake. So put an exhaustion token on there, spend a snake and a frog to put a silver snake out. Right now he's got an attack of X and life 4, and his 3 recover. All right, Mr. Chimera, he gets a power die and a 7. 7 is target opponent player must lower 2 basic. All right, so we now only have basic dice. And he reveals Storm Call. So he's going to start smacking me and ramping up his ultimate with Storm Call. And that's going to be his turn. So I'm going to meditate again. I'm going to discard Open Memories from my hand to raise one of these die to a frog. And then I'm going to use Empower, which is a main action. We'll exhaust it. We'll spend a leaf in the form of a frog, which is the frog is the highest level die, so I can spend it as if it's the leaf or the basic. Place 1 status token on a creature you control. unit you control. All right, so our snake is now a 1, has an attack of 1 and 4 life. That was our side and main action, so we're back over to our good friend the Chimera. He spends 1 token from Stormcall, which does 1 damage to our Phoenixborn, and then he will roll. Got a basic die, and a 5. Reveal and then attack. So he reveals Lurk, my favorite, and he attacks with it right out the gate. We're just going to let Lurk kill the Gilder. So his attack of 4 and only 1 life. He hits the Gilder. Gilder dies, and the Gilder has a special ability which says Inheritance 1. When this unit is destroyed, place 1 status token on target unit. You may. And so we're just going to beef up Mr. Silver Snake, which is awesome. That exhausts Lurk. Alright, so as much as I'd love to attack Lurk or Glare with Silver Snake, unfortunately we have Constrict in play, which is a defender. So it blocks for the Chimera and will guard for aspects. So instead, I'm not going to attack with Silver Snake. I'm just going to leave him out there. So we'll go ahead and pass. And then his next round, he will attack with Glare. Glare is going to hit Maeoni unless I block with Silver Snake or guard with Silver Snake. So I guess I will not block. I guess I'll just take 2 damage. This is feeling like a pretty rough start. Because then, so on our turn, he's got an attack of 2. I could then kill Glare. Nope, I can't because I got attacked Constrict. So I will pass. Constrict attacks. I'm gonna let it hit Snake. Snake does not strike back. So that exhausts Constrict. Next, Regenerate will attack. Meoni is going to block that one, or guard, so she takes the damage instead, which puts her to 5, because Regenerate has 2 attack, and it is exhausted. And now Silver Snake can attack anybody he wants, because this guy no longer has Defender. Oh shoot, you guys, I forgot to activate Stormcall. This game has a lot of those little things in there. So it would hit me, and then it would have raised his ultimate by 1. And now Stormcall just sits here and does nothing. It will attack later, but it doesn't get those tokens again until the end of the round. So I could attack with Silver Snake. I could take out Glare or Lurk. So I think I will take out Lurk. So we'll exhaust Silver Snake. He'll attack Lurk, which he now can, because when this is exhausted, it no longer has any of its abilities. So we'll attack Lurk, which kills it. That's 2 blood, which we already, I think, put on there because I had killed him earlier and then took it back. So we'll put the 2, there's 2 damage on him from that, and then he gains a status token whenever an opponent's unit is destroyed. I get a status token on my Snake. So now he is attack 3 Snake. Finally, back to the Chimera. Stormcall activates. He attacks Snake for 1. Snake cannot respond because he's exhausted. And that is the end of the round. So the end of the round, first thing that happens is we have recovery. So our Snake has a recovery of 3, luckily. And then we can exhaust all these dice, which we will do. We're going to remove exhaustion from all the cards. Lots of stuff to activate, which is fun. And then he gets a Red Rains token for every creature in play. Still every aspect, I should say. His ult is 3, so 1, 2. He ultimates, which gets rid of anything on his board that's not his, which we don't have, and then does 1 damage to all of my units and my Phoenixborn. And then he gets 2 more tokens. And 1 more aspect. So he's already about to do his second ult, and then after he does that, he'll just be summoning. Basically, every time he ults after that, he'll add another card to his tableau. This is not a great first round. But we're gonna persevere. We're gonna persevere. We'll see what happens. That flips over. I get to re-roll some dice. Oh, I need to unexhaust or untap our Phoenixborn. All right, what we get? We got a snake. We got some hearts. Oof. Not an amazing roll. Let's draw some cards. See what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got Open Memories, which we've already seen. This lets me grab a card out of any card I want out of my deck. We got another copy of Summon Gilder, which will be good for getting a second one out, because we do have 2. We got Refresh, which is a great one. It's an action spell, allows us to remove all exhaustion tokens from a unit. We've got Hypnotize, which is a ready spell that allows us to spend 2 hearts and exhaust it to choose a unit, and it can no longer be blocked or guarded against. So basically you can make your snake unblockable. And then Golden Veil has my favorite flavor text so far in the game. I'm not sure if you can really see this. Golden Veil says, you may play this spell after an opponent targets a unit you control the spell, ability, or dice power. Cancel that effect, and any remaining effects of that spell, ability, or dice power. On the flavor text just says, no. And I agree with that. No. So that's what we got. And let's see what our friend Mr. Khmer is going to do. So he basically is going to have 1 turn, and then he's going to start attacking. Oh, we refresh. My apologies. We need to put 2 tokens on Stormcall here. At the beginning of his turn, he uses 1, does the damage to Maeoni. So he's going to ult his next activation, because that will come off, do 1 damage to her, and then when you pull the last one off, you put a Raid Reigns token on the Khmer. So good news, guys. It's going downhill really fast. We got an 11. And an 11 is raise 2 basic rage die, so he just ulted. Okay, so he fills up. We would raise 1 more. He ults, which gets rid of everything off of his board that does not belong to him, which there's none. And then he does 2 damage to everything. So my snake is at 3 wounds. Luckily, he has 4 life. Maeoni is at 10 of her 20 health. So already looking pretty beat up. And we get 1 more of those. And now we're on phase 3. So no more giant swaths of damage. Instead, he's just going to keep adding problems to our list of things to solve. Wonderful. It is our turn. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not, because he hasn't actually done anything. Raise 2 basic rage die, and then reveal. Dark Descent. One of my favorites, and my snake is in a really bad position. So, Dark Descent is when this unit is declared as an attacker, he puts an exhaustion token on the leftmost unit, which is my silver snake. And if that unit already has an exhaustion token, he just discards it instead. So if we do anything with our snake, although we do have refresh, which allows us to remove, an exhaustion token. So that could be useful. But yeah, we gotta be careful of that. And now he's gonna start attacking next round. So we gotta start making stuff happen. I cannot use ready spells or action spells. Or sorry, I cannot use action or reaction spells currently because of glare. So we're going to, as a main action, we'll summon a Gilder, which says place 1 Gilder Conjuration on your battlefield, then you may deal 1 damage to a target unit. I believe I forgot to do that the first time. So we're going to do 1 damage. Let's do 1 damage to Regenerate. What do you think? Get rid of Regenerate, hopefully. So we'll do 1 damage to Regenerate, which will kill it. When it dies, we do 1 blood to the Corpse of Viros. And then we roll a basic rage die. Okay, we got a power side. So he stays dead, which is actually pretty awesome. That's good news. That was summoning a Gilder. Whenever a unit an opponent controls is destroyed, we get to put a token on our snake. So he's now an attack of 4. Yeah, so then he's going to go, and he's going to attack with Glare. He's attacking Maeoni with Glare. So we'll block with Gilder, or guard with Gilder. instead of having our Phoenixborn take it. So that's 2 damage to him, which kills him. He can respawn, but his attack is 0, so he doesn't do any damage back to Glare, but Glare is exhausted, which means it's no longer restricting our ability to cast spells. And when this unit is destroyed, place a status token on target unit. So my snake is now 5. It's getting big. It's getting big. Back to us. We are going to play another copy of Summon Gilder as our main action. And then as our side action, okay, that costs a heart. And then as our side action, I'm going to use Command Strike, which does cost 2 basic mana. Choose an unexhausted unit you control. Deal damage to a target unit equal to the chosen unit's attack value. I am going to do that to probably Dark Descent. As much as I am annoyed by a Constrict, Dark Descent is obnoxious. So we'll go ahead and do that. So he kills Dark Descent, which does 2 blood to our good friend the Corpse of Viros, and he's now a 6. Sick. Got rid of that thing. That's our turn. So back over to here. First Storm Call will do 1 damage to Maeoni, and now that there's no more tokens on him, he gets a Red Rains token. It's already a third of the way there. And then he will attack. He's going to attack with Constrict. Constrict is going to attack my leftmost unit, which would kill it. So I will block with or guard with Maeoni here. So she's going to take 2. She's not going to be able to do that for too much longer. But he is gone. It's back to me. So for a heart, oh no, sorry. For a leaf, we'll use our other copy of Summon Gilder. Put him out there. When he comes into play, you deal 1 damage to target unit. We're going to do 1 damage to, I don't know, Glare. That was our main action. I don't think we have any side actions we want to do right now, so that will be our turn. Back over to the Chimera. He's going to attack with Storm Call. He's attacking my right side, so it's an attack of 1. He has 2 life. We'll go ahead and let the Gilder take the hit. He does 1 damage to the Gilder. Gilder does no damage to Storm Call, but Storm Call is exhausted. Okay, and now we get to kind of have some fun. And we are going to have some fun. So I'm going to main action, activate Silver Snake. He's going to attack Constrict and deal 6 damage to it, which kills it. That does 2 blood to the corpse, and then we get another token. So now has an attack of 7. No side actions. He passes. Back to me. I'm going to play Refresh, which costs 1 heart and 1 basic. And I can remove all exhaustion tokens from target unit. I'll do that from Mr. Silver Snake. That is a main action. I do not have a side action I want to do. But the corpse will pass. So it's back to me. We're going to attack with Silver Snake again. We're going to get rid of... I should have done this damage to Storm Call probably instead, because Glare is annoying. We'll go ahead and kill Storm Call. We'll attack Storm Call with Silver Snake. It's 1 blood. Silver Snake gains another token. He's now an 8. He's exhausted though. Pass. We'll go ahead and put Hypnotize out. It's a ready spell. And then he will pass. I am going to meditate and discard Golden Veil to make this a leaf. And then that's a side action. And my main action, I'm going to use Empower, which costs 1 leaf. And I'm going to put a status token on Mr. Snake. It is not focused. I wish it was, because then I could pull a couple of these off to do some damage. Like I just pull one off to do 1 damage to glare, get rid of it. So that's when Empower starts getting really good, is when you get a second copy. I mean, it's good on its own, but yeah. Think that's probably the turn. Maybe I should have done this differently, but that's okay. So we are done. We cannot kill the glare, but that's okay. So no exhaustion tokens there. Recovery, no recovery. Recover 3. Remove exhaustion. Exhaust dice. We'll go ahead and exhaust this one, but we'll keep our snake for next round. He gets 1 Red Rains token because of glare, and then he gets back up to 5 aspects. 4 and 5. Take all these exhaustion tokens off. Roll some dice. Got a couple. Oh, look at that. 4 frogs. Oh my gosh. That was a good roll. And I am keeping this 1 card, but we'll draw back up to 4. Wonderful. I think that was a good draw for the most part. And it is back to us going first. And glare is out, which means we cannot play action or reaction spells, which I have a few of. But we're going to start with Summon Gilder. Play Heart. Place a Gilder Conjuration on our battlefield, and he does 1 damage to a target unit. He'll go ahead and do that to Glare, which gets rid of Glare. That's probably another copy of Glare, but hey, at least we got rid of this one finally. That's 1 blood. And that's our main action. Side action. I am tempted to just have, oh, this has to be against a unit, so we're going to save that. Okay, no side actions. Oh no, side action will play Empower. It is now focused, which is awesome. And what's really interesting about focus is, so I have 2 copies of this spell now in play. And what's really interesting is, not only is the spell empowered a little bit because, sorry to use the same name as the card, the spell's boosted and buffed. It's boofed a little bit, so I can remove the tokens and do damage, but also I have 2 copies of the card, and each one can be exhausted. So I can actually use this ability twice per round now, as long as I pay for the effects, and each version of it is made more powerful. And that's when this game really starts to come alive. So some of the way these things kind of beef up as you build them out. It's really cool. So that's our first turn. Mr. Chimera, what you got for us, buddy? A power die and a 5. A 5 is reveal and attack. He's going to be doing that a lot, I think. So constrict, as soon as that comes into play, we put an exhaustion token on something. We'll go ahead and exhaust. We're going to go ahead and exhaust Summon Gilder, because I have another copy in my hand. So if I need to use it again, I can play it and then use it. But I don't know. We've already got 2 out, which is the maximum. So we may not need that card this turn. And then he's going to attack. He goes straight for it. And he's going to attack and kill this Gilder. We're going to go ahead and let it happen. So now I would want to use that again, but that's okay. He attacks, kills it, which is going to give him a status token. Oh boy, he's at 10. That's a big, beefy snake. Holy smokes. Back to us. I have some ideas. So we're going to try Empower as our main action. It is a main action. So we're going to spend a leaf and exhaust this. It says place 1 status token on a target you control. So we'll do that. And then, because it's focused, I can remove any number to do that much damage. I'm going to remove 4 and do 4 damage to constrict, which will kill it. That does 2 blood, so that gets him to, he's at 9, so now he's at 11. And that feels like a pretty good way to get rid of that problem. And he's still a 7, which is still very reasonable, very respectful amount of attack power. So that was our main action. Side action, I don't think I have one that I'm going to do currently. So we're going to call it good. Mr. Chimera, how you feeling over there, Mr. Chimera? I'm feeling medium at this point. I'm not sure where this game's going to go. Okay, we're going to attack a Fable. We cannot, so we're just going to reveal. And what we're revealing is Dark Descent. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. So when he's declared as an attacker, he's going to exhaust Mr. Snick. So we're going to... That's going to be annoying, basically. Side action. Activate her ability. We'll spend two dice to do it. And he deals damage equal to his attack value to a unit. His attack value is 7, so he does 7 damage to Dark Descent, which is enough to kill it for sure. Yeah, let me take care of that. He's not exhausted from that action. That is a side action. My main action, I am going to play another copy of Summon Gilder. You can have at most 3 copies of a card in your deck, so there you go. That is our round. Over to Mr. Chimera. He still has some unrevealed aspects, so he's going to... an 11 is not going to be good, and he gets a Red Rains token, so he's going to ult, which adds another card. Yay! More stuff to deal with. That's okay, that's okay. And then 11 is raise 3 basic rage die 1 level. So he actually is already pretty darn close to getting another token, and then he will reveal. And he reveals regenerate. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. I am thinking that we will go ahead and play Summon Gilder. And when it comes into play, it does 1 damage to target creature. We'll do 1 damage to regenerate, which kills it. And then let's see if it... Oh, which gives him a token. I think I forgot to give him a token for killing Dark Descent, but that's okay. He comes back, but at least he is exhausted. Okay. That is my main action. My side action... No side actions. Mr. Chimera... rolls a 6. Reveal an attack. He reveals Glare, and then attacks with Glare. He's attacking my Phoenix Born. I'm going to block with this Gilder that's already wounded. So he's dead. He does no damage to Glare, but he does give a token to Mr. Sneck. It's always great. Sneck's at +9 attack. Glare is exhausted, so it's no longer in effect, so I can play action spells if I'd like, and it's back to me. So we're going to, as a main action, we'll go ahead and activate Empower. We'll spend a frog to do so. We'll put a exhaustion token on it, so he gets one of these, and then we're going to remove 2 of them. So he's at 10, so he'll drop to 8 to do 2 damage to Glare, which kills it, and does 1 blood to the Corpse of Viros. We're almost halfway done with the corpse, and that is my main action. My side action, don't think I have one at the moment, so he's going to do his turn, another basic die. He's going to attack if he can. He cannot, so he reveals, and it's Storm Call. Storm Call. Oops. Status tokens. I'm going to play Open Memories, which is a basic and a heart, which we way vastly overpay for. But we get to go into our draw pile and get a card, any card we want. I'm going to put Refresh. Refresh is the card I choose. Put that in my hand. Okay. Okay, and that is a main action. A side action, I don't believe I have any side actions that I want to do. So we'll go to him. At the beginning of the round, he loses one of these, which does a damage to my dude. And then he will attack. He's going to attack. I'll let him just hit the Gilder, which puts a token on my snake. So now he's back up to 9. They're both activated. And it's back to me. Now what I could do, I could take out either of these guys if I wanted to, which is going to prevent him from getting tokens, but I really think I just want to go smack him for 9. So we're going to go ahead and have Silver Snake just attack normally, and he's going to attack the Chimera, and he's going to do 9 damage to the Chimera. So Chimera's at 15, and now he's going to be at 24, which is a big slap. I'm feeling really good about that, to be honest. 24 is only 9 damage from defeated. Yeah, so that feels pretty good. Back to the Chimera. He is all out of stuff to do, so he will pass. Oh, nope, at the beginning of his turn, though, he's going to do that. Which does 1 damage to my Phoenixborn. So my Phoenixborn also only has 5 HP left, so he's also feeling probably pretty confident as well. And then he gets a Red Rains token. Okay. And then we will pass. Unfortunately, I don't actually have enough mana to use Refresh, otherwise I'd be hitting him again for 9. But yeah, we'll call it good for there, and we'll end the round. So no exhaustion tokens on him. We're going to remove all exhaustion tokens from the rest of this stuff. We'll remove 1 from every card. If somehow a card has 2 exhaustion tokens on it, you only remove 1. There are some ways that can happen. He gets 2 more tokens, which ults him, and after we replenish aspects, we are going to put another card out. So we'll go ahead and replenish right now. 3, 4, 5, and he gets a 6th aspect this turn. This is not good, you guys. This definitely feels dangerous. This is going to be the last round, probably. We just don't know who it's going to be the last round for yet. Or who's going to emerge victorious, I suppose I should say. Okay, Red Rains, he did that. He ulted. I need to discard and then draw. So I'm going to discard this and then draw 3. Not useful cards, unfortunately. Alright, got some leaves. Boy, kind of a mediocre roll. But that's okay. That's okay. He's first. He's first. Stormcall gets replenished. And he will activate and slap me, so that's a problem. I'm down to 4 now. And then he's going to activate. And it's a 7. A 7 says, deal 1 damage to the opposing player's target leftmost unit. That's my snake. And then he will reveal. And it's constrict. So now we have a defender out on the board, which is not great. We're going to go ahead and exhaust 1 copy of Summon Gilder, because we have 3 of them. So that's okay. And so as a side action, I am going to discard, I'm going to meditate and discard 2 cards to make both those frogs. And then my main action, he does not have Glare out. My main action is going to be Molten Gold, which costs 2 frogs. But it does 3 wound tokens to a target unit or Phoenixborn, which is very powerful. And I'm just going to drop 3 straight on the Phoenixborn. So he's at 24, so he'd be at 27. That is my side and main action. Comes back around, we got Stormcall again. 1 more damage to my Phoenixborn. He runs out of tokens, so he gets a Red Rains token when you take the last token off of that. And then he will activate. What are we going to do? A 10. Raise 3 basic rage die. 1, 2, 3. and then he will reveal Stormcall. That is not good. 2 more damage to me. And he'll ult again soon, which is another card. This is getting kind of rough, you guys. It's getting kind of rough. Luckily, I can. I think I'm okay. So he's at 25, 26, 27. Okay, so I think we're gonna win because we're gonna use Hypnotize. And Hypnotize says choose target unit you control to gain the following ability for the remainder of the turn. Bypass. The unit cannot be blocked or guarded against. So I'm gonna choose Silver Snake. I'm gonna activate Silver Snake. So he's gonna attack the Chimera, and he hits for 9. So if the Chimera's at 27, that brings him to 36. We'll need 35 to defeat him, and we have defeated the heroic level version of the Corpse of Viros. He had a lot of aspects out. Like this round was definitely going to wipe me out otherwise. Like we got 2 more damage for sure from Stormcall and a few other things, but luckily I just had the toolkit I needed to get this guy in there and dealing some big damage twice. He basically hit for 18 of the 35 damage that we needed to do to the Chimera in order to defeat him. So Hypnotize, really good. Silver Snake, I really like this deck, this Maeoni deck. It's just really fun to have this one like big dude that you're just trying to funnel all this stuff into. And then how do you use him as much as possible to deal as much damage? You can pull tokens off to get rid of units. You can have him directly attack without tapping him with her ability. You can use Hypnotize to get in there and alpha strike the opposing Phoenixborn. And I had stacked myself with another copy of Refresh so that if things went south, I could figure out how to get that exhaustion token on him off of him so he could attack. So overall, I think that was a success. We win. Yeah, and I'm stoked. Heroic wasn't too bad. It was definitely harder. I do think this is probably I'm best at this deck. I don't know if it's the most powerful. I'm not familiar enough with this game in any respect to talk about card power or anything like that. But this deck just feels very good, and yeah, that was awesome. Great battle against the Corpse of Viros. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for coming in and watching. I hope you're enjoying these playthrough videos of Ashes. I know it's not a dungeon crawler per se, but it's an adventure. It feels like an adventure, playing against this guy. I really like these kinds of games. I really like co-op games and specifically dueling games, you guys. It's so cool to get to play like a real, magic-like dueling game, but against, an AI opponent. I can just sit down and play a game, try out a deck. I was not planning on getting into deck building at all, but I'm totally going to try it out with this game at some point once I get comfortable enough. I'm going to build some decks, and it would be fun to get in there and try them out with the Corpse or the other Chimeras and see what happens. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you haven't already, you can subscribe and get more content like this. I really like adventure games, dungeon crawlers, all those kinds of things. I tend to do, some instructional videos too, but gosh, this game's just so fun to play, and I just had so much fun, playing it with you guys last time on video that I wanted to do it again. So yeah, leave a comment. I will do my best to respond to any comments that you leave. Definitely want to engage with you guys. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. And until we talk next time, stay safe out there.